Welcome again to Reflections. We've been having conversations. That's the topic for this week. And I want to say to us today that sometimes conversations that would affect our destiny are being had in places that we do not know and by people who may not even know us. So it is critical for us to lean into the Lord and enjoy God's favor. Believe me, there are so many promotions that come and people don't even know how they got it, because there was somebody there who they didn't know would be there, who was advocating for them. I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I had someone who was going to apply for a visa. And so they had to travel out of the country to get that special visa. They had to leave the States to go out, get the visa and come back in. And so when they were leaving, they were sort of, they weren't sure. Of course, with visas, you are never sure. You don't know whether you will get it or not. Most times, even when you are confident, there are times that there is that little jittery feeling in you. And so they traveled. And now remember, they had to leave the country. And the flip side of that was, if for any reason that visa was denied, from that country, they would be taken back to their home country. They weren't coming back here to the States. And they had family here. It would have meant separation from a child. And so they got to that country. And conversation started right at the airport. At the airport, they were saying, why did you bring this person here? Maybe you shouldn't have allowed them to come. Maybe you need to put them on that flight back to where they are coming from. But of course, that wasn't possible. From there, it had to be home. And I think because of that, they said, you know what, let's just allow this person to go through. They said they are going to the embassy, so let them go. So they did allow them into the nation. And then they went for the visa. And at that visa place, as they were standing there, the person had looked through all the paperwork, everything seemed good, and said, oh, okay. And then for some reason said, and called somebody else and said, hey, look, there's something here. Take a look at this. And the person took a look and said, you can't give this person a visa. You can't give this person a visa. And went back to their desk. And this person took another look at the paperwork. And I don't know what they saw, but I think they must have seen the finger of God, because they looked at it and they stamped that passport and gave the visa, and they said, congratulations, XYZ, here is your visa. And that person called me from the airport. They were so happy, they were rejoicing, they were like, because we weren't expecting them back till the next day, but they got right on the next plane and they were back here. What happened? There were conversations that were going out in that office that might have denied that person the visa they needed. But again, there was another conversation that was going on in the heavenlies, where God had decided that that person would be favored and will get what they need. There's somebody out there in particular today. Some conversations have been going on about you, and you've had some of that conversation, and now you are reacting. But I want to say to you that the information you have is half information, and your reaction is wrong. I want to say to you, you need to listen to what God is saying. You need to listen to that heavenly conversation right now. And you need to hear what God is saying, because the information you think you have is wrong information. I don't know, it's either wrong information or half information. It's not the information that is totally correct, and your reaction is wrong. There's a story in the Bible, in Acts chapter chapter 23, where Paul had been brought before the Sanhedrin and had been tried. And the Jews were actually after his life. He was a threat to them, so they wanted him dead. And so they concocted up a plan, but a plan that would have led to his being killed. However, his nephew was somewhere where he was able to listen into some conversation that helped him to understand that Paul was about to be killed. He was supposed to be transported to some place. And the plan was, while he was being transported, these people who had an evil plan against him would kill him. If the nephew had not been present to hear that information, Paul would not have been able to fulfill his assignment because he would have been prematurely killed. His nephew told him, and Paul said, you know what? Go and tell this to the captain of the guards so that they will know that there is a plan that is different from the plan of the authority. And so when the captain was told that you are planning to transport Paul, however, during the course of that transportation, some people have determined that they will kill him. The guard now set up an alternate means of transportation and an alternate time of transportation, different from the expected time, and Paul was sent out safely before the plan to kill him could be carried out by his detractors. I pray for you today that wherever those contrary conversations concerning your life, concerning your purpose, concerning the will of God for you is going on, I pray for you that God would send you help, because God sent Paul help. God sends Paul help. God will send you help, that the information, the critical information necessary to save your life, to save your career, to save your next level, that God will send that information to you. And that God will plant somebody in that place specifically to help you so that his purpose and his counsel concerning your life will be fully delivered. I pray that the enemy will not triumph over you in the name of the Lord Jesus. Conversations. They are so simple, but they can have profound effects on how far we go in life and where we end in life. And that's another warning to somebody. Because where conversations are going to be had concerning you, you won't be there. It's therefore important for you to be good to people, to be kind to people, to treat people in a godly manner with the fear of God in your heart. There's that saying that says, be good to people on your way up because you may need them on your way down. But my prayer for you is that you will not come down. You will not, once you go up, that you will not come down. And on your way up, you are going to need people to take you to where you need to be. God will send you help. God will create conversations around you that will promote you to your next level. Remember, let the fear of God be in your heart when you interact with other people. And I can assure you that because God is faithful and God is true, if you are indeed his child and you are listening to him and having those quiet conversations with him, he will make a way for you and it will be all right with you. Again, it's Funmi Obilano today, bringing you that hope pill and good news on Reflections.